in spite of what the newspapers are saying, that it's possible.
Not in spite of death, but because of it.
Culture and Polish heritage, in spite of all odds. The other interesting thing about Warsaw...
Government by, for, and of the people in spite of the corporations that they own. The government efficiency, you hardly cross borders anymore, and there is so much variety in spite of that uniformity of a free trade zone.
I say that in spite of the fact that I'm a principal in a money management.
LinkedIn, not in spite of Reed, but in large part because of Reed. I had a tremendous
in the universe, and not just to exist, but in spite of my body, I had a right to be successful and to kick ass.
In spite of the corporations they own. I think their government goes to...
In spite of all of this, this glimpse that we have in God's creation, looking at the window that Warfield talked.
In spite of those dangers, our policies and the policies of other nations.
Not only has the culture survived in spite of the company's size and success, it has been a central driver of it.
Thank you, Lord, for blessing us in spite of ourselves and sustaining our ministry.
But in spite of our differences, we have that one common denominator, the common core.
She suggests, in spite of, or maybe because of, our roots in tax reform.
Value in spite of doctrine or social norms enough to teach people how to
Before, where in spite of the fact that the product just seemed horrible
to them getting married, in spite of her experience as a school teacher during the 20 years they lived there.
We found in this year's theme is that in spite of our emphasis on self-reliance and control, today we seem to have a...
In spite of that, I'll have your back, I'll defend you.
In spite of his great victories, in the end he is defeated, and he...
In spite of the fact that it's so big, and I think that one of the...
because they have to, and in spite of. Then something shifted.
In spite of an encouraging budget proposed by the governor, I am concerned that tough times may still lie ahead.
First, I will argue that in spite of the rhetorics and division, this is not messy.
Could be free in a new way, in spite of their actions, their beliefs, or their positions.
But in spite of my strong belief that women make great leaders, I've realized
hope that in spite of these new tools being more dangerous, we somehow will have the
process. He won the election, but as I said, he won it in spite of himself. Keep in mind, Judy, that
fear. Courage is doing the right thing in spite of your fear. That's what makes a courageous woman.
For you, tell her the truth, how you lived in spite of crooked odds. Tell her you were brave and all.
And that was in spite of all the controversy I stirred up over the last year, so I was proud of that.
Bizarritude, not in spite of it, that people who've read Ulysses, who are kind of like unicorns,